Yobida. Today it's rainfall, no? Because we'll be speaking English to go into the beautiful theme of peace with our special guest invited today. A warm welcome to all listeners, loyal listeners. We love receiving your comments and supportive messages and questions. We love it. Nati is with me here in the studio of Canal 90, ready to have an hour of inspiration with you. So the theme today is peace in the chaos. Is that possible? How to do that? Well, we have the expert here to share with us and inspire us. And did you know that today, September 20th, coincides with International Day of Peace weekend? Tomorrow, 21st of September, it's International World Day of Peace. And this has been created by the United Nations to promote global peace and have a ceasefire. And this is since 1981. More about that soon. So first, let's get comfortable, no? No distractions around you, so you can focus for an hour. Maybe you have your tea ready, just like us. And we're going to start with a moment of centering with our breath. Did you breathe today? Well, now is your chance. Sit comfortable. If you will, your hands on your heart or on your lap. Your eyes can close or look downwards. Breathe in. Fill your lungs. Breathe out. Calm your heart. Breathe in consciously. Breathe out consciously. Inhale deeper. Exhale deeper. Your breath is your drop of peace. Notice how you feel after a conscious moment of breathing. Sometimes it takes a breath, no? To get you back into the moment. And today we'll learn more how to build that peace in the chaos of this world. So with me today is Sister Rota Grun, a dear friend of mine. She's like my sister, but also like a mother and also a teacher, a strict teacher sometimes, but we want that because she tells you the things as they are. So Rota is from the Brahma Kumaris. Let me tell you about the Brahma Kumaris. The Brahma Kumaris is an organization, a world spiritual university from India, and it is affiliated with the United Nations. It's an NGO accredited with general consultative status, associate status, and observer status, because the Brahma Kumaris World University shares the same goals as United Nations, which are the Sustainable Development Goals. For those who know, they call them SDGs as well. And some of them is women empowerment, for instance, and peace and conflict resolution, and much more. So today we have with us Sister Rota Grun, and she is the leader of Brahma Kumaris Center in Aruba. And there are many centers all over the world. How blessed we are to have a Brahma Kumaris Center in Aruba. It's a center where you can go for free information for your spiritual growth, for knowledge to create peace amongst others. So, Sister Rota, she was a general nurse, a diabetes educator, and a nurse teacher. And since 31 years, she is a Brahma Kumaris student. She still calls herself a student with all her knowledge and experience. And she is a teacher as well, of course. And she told me, I love to serve. I love nature. I am a mother and a grandmother. And I see benefit in everything, although it is not always immediately visible. She has told me this many times. And it's very powerful, this message. So we'll talk more about that. So I introduce you to Sister Rota Grun. Om Shanti, Bombini, Rota. How are you feeling?
I'm fine. Thankful.
You told me this is like a dream come true to sit here. Yes. Can you share why?
Yes. definitely.
Can you share why it's a dream come true?
Because for a long time we have been inspired to give this message to the world that what is the reality, who we really are, who we belong to, and how we are a world family, and how we can embrace one another, in love, in understanding, in everything.
Yes.
So that is why I'm so thankful for this day.
Thankful to spread the message of peace today.
Yes.
In relation to the International Day of Peace.
Yes.
I liked how you said in our previous communication, you said our heads are full. We need to go to the heart to connect with the soul. Can you share a bit more about that?
Yes. What I observe nowadays is that because there is so much information in the world and people are searching, so they take in a lot of information. But when it comes to make it practical, to experience it, that is where the gap is. And experience is something from the heart. It's not something from the head. With the head we know, and we have to know, because this is the whole thing in the study, that first we must have knowledge, spiritual knowledge, to understand ourselves. But to make it practical, you have to experiment with it. And when it is experienced, then you know that yes, it is like that. And that is something of the heart.
Beautiful.
Yes.
Yes. I also appreciate that you said that this knowledge is for everyone.
Yes.
It's for all religions.
Yes. And that is something that I'm very happy with, because we have many souls who are coming to the center, who are not real students, but they are our friends. And they are from all kinds of religions. But once they know what is the truth, they can sustain themselves with that truth. Because truth is something eternal. And it is not different for Christians or Buddhists or Hindus. Truth is truth. Peace is for everyone the same. Love is for everyone the same. A tear is for everyone the same. And a smile also.
The universal things.
Yeah, it is universal. That is why the study is also universal. It is not connected with the religion. That is why it is spiritual knowledge, and that is for everyone. Yeah.
Yes. So, tell us about the truth. What does that mean? Well, how would you explain that to someone coming, searching for information that sustains them? You talk about the truth. How would you explain that?
Normally, we identify ourselves with our body, with our culture, with our religion, with our race, with our gender, everything, or our role that we play. But the reality is that we are spiritual beings, and not the body, and not the role. So once that is clear for someone who comes for the information, for the knowledge, it opens a door within the self. A door. Behind that door, there is that truth. That now I know I don't have to search for peace outside. I don't have to search for love outside, or for happiness, or for strength. But I am all of that. I am that peace. I am that love. I am that inner power. And that I radiate in my thinking, in my speaking, in my actions. But it is practice. It is not something I hear today and tomorrow I'm able to do it immediately. But it opens a door. And the door to the eternal truth.
So you get a knowledge.
Yes.
And then you say it's important, the application.
Yes.
So how do you apply the knowledge that you are a soul?
when you hear it, because it is the truth, something happens inside. Because in the soul itself, in our own self, there is truth. So when you hear that truth, it match. It match. And so there is a kind of shift within our understanding. And because that shift is so important to go on our spiritual journey, in fact, that is the first step. Without that step, knowing who we are, we cannot go any further on the spiritual journey.
It's interesting that you say that when you hear that you are a soul, that there is a resonance, a match.
Yes, it is.
In the meditation program that I teach, I have a module of the soul. And I ask the participants, what is soul? And everyone has an answer. It's like they know. No one ever said, I don't know.
Yes.
So there is something in us that resonates.
Yes. But
With
there is
soul.
a very important thing. Mostly we say, I have a soul. But it is, I am a soul. I don't have a soul. Because if I say I have a soul, then who is I? But it is, I am a soul, and I, the soul, I have a body. And this soul that I am is peaceful. That is my nature.
So instead of I am a body and I have a soul, it's I am a soul who has a body.
Yes. And through the body, I can express myself. It's like to have a little seed, right? I give Shanti a little seed, a sunflower seed. And after 10 years, I'm meeting Shanti again, and I said, Shanti, how are the flowers? Oh, the flowers? I never put it in the soil, Sister Rota. So there is no flower. There are no flowers. So in the same way, I, the soul, I possess everything that is goodness. But as long as I'm not in the body, I cannot express it.
So you say that our true nature is peaceful.
Yeah, it is
I
peace.
think nowadays many people don't believe that. They see the world in anger, in disaster, in war, in, as we know how the world is.
Yes.
So how would you explain that? Or what to say to
Yeah.
those who...
Yeah. This
It's
is the key.
not easy to convince someone that human beings are... Our true nature is peace.
Yeah.
Then why is the world like this?
Yeah. Because we forget. We forget the most important thing, who we are. And once you forget it, and you identify yourself with the body, then you lose that contact with that eternal truth within yourself. And you look at yourself and also others from a different way, from the outside. And that is a total different thing than the inside. Because inside we are all peaceful beings and pure also. All souls. Even though the behavior can be like this at this moment in time, but the reality of our true self is that we are peaceful and pure. It's like with a diamond, right? A diamond shines, but when you put it in the dustbin, you cannot see the shining part of the diamond. So that the soul is totally covered with negativity. And so once we know who we are, and of course with that connection with the source, we start to being polished again. And so that peace, that love, that purity starts to shine again. And you can feel it within yourself, and that brings happiness. Happiness doesn't come from the things from outside. That is temporary. But that inner happiness that is not connected with the outside things, that deep inner happiness comes from that pure awareness of ourselves.
Can you share with us, because you shared, like I said, you're a student or with the Brahma Kumaris since 31 years. How was it before? Can you share with us how that transformation was felt or experienced?
Yes.
The before and after.
One of the things I was always doing, every year I will write at the end of the year a kind of evaluation. I had to look back how the year was. And every year was the same thing, that I would cry because I was not able to overcome anger.
Anger.
Yeah. Yeah. I tried my best, but it was not worth
But
it.
why did you want to overcome anger? Because nowadays anger is very natural. But at that time in your life, you felt you didn't want to be angry anymore.
Yeah,
That's
I didn't.
interesting affirmation or goal.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
Yeah. And I really didn't want it, but it was still happening. Especially with my kids. And when I was tired. Yeah, then I could become very angry. Yes, definitely. And now after.
Tan,
Yeah.
tan, tan, tan.
And of course, it took time. But what I came to understand, the cause of the anger. Because if we don't understand the cause of the anger, we will never be able to overcome it. It is like in a garden, you have, for instance, a tree that you don't want that tree, and you only cut the leaves and the branches, but you don't take all the roots. So it will come again with all the thorns and unpleasant things. And the same, I have to know the cause of anger, and for everyone it can be different. And for me, it was ego. Once I understood that, and not just by myself, but really being in deep connection with the source, with the Father, the highest Father, then I came to understand. And from that time on, every time when some anger will come, I could see the link between the ego and the anger.
Even when you're tired and the kids.
They were already studying by that time.
Oh, okay.
But other circumstances, right? And then I could see, and every time I would work on it. And over the years, sometimes there are little traces still, but I'm always aware when it happens.
So you're saying two interesting things that I want to point out. One is ego. Maybe we can talk about that. What is ego? If you can explain to us that. And that it's a process of years to observe and to be able to make that transformation.
Yeah. When we speak about ego by the Brahma Kumaris from the spiritual knowledge, it is one of the vices.
The vices, vicio.
Yes. It is a negative force.
A negative force.
Yeah. Very negative. Very, very negative.
And can you give some examples of ego?
For instance, if something is done right in a certain way, but because of thinking, I know it better, I am better, I will not appreciate your way of doing it. I want it my way. And that can create anger.
Yes. So the negative vices come from the ego?
It comes from the identification with the body that we call body consciousness. And these vices are the impure desires, the anger, the greed, the attachment, and the ego. They kill our life totally. And the subtle ones are jealousy, laziness, carelessness, comparison. All those things are very subtle. But they make our life miserable. But in soul consciousness, I know that who I am, yes, the qualities that I have, but I also know that the one who is in front of me, like you, that you are also a pure soul and a peaceful soul, but you are unique. The way you express what is inside of you is very unique. But that makes a lot of difference in relationships. And that creates a state of peace.
Yes. Okay, so you talked about body consciousness
Yes.
and soul consciousness.
Yes.
So body consciousness is when we have attachment. Can you give an example of an attachment?
In fact, anything that is not our own, not spiritual, but something from outside. It can be a relationship, it can be a position, it can be money, it can be anything. I have a kind of attainment there. It gives me pleasure. For instance, someone gives me a lot of respect. I become attached to that person. But tomorrow, if that same person gives me respect, then what happens?
If that person does not give you respect anymore,
Yeah.
then you are offended.
Yes. So anything that we take any attainment from, pleasure, yes.
Like we depend on it, like
yes,
that.
we start to depend on it. Instead of tapping from within, we take from outside and we become dependent on it, whatever it may be. That is why there is so much sorrow. If someone, for instance, leaves the body, how much crying, how much sorrow is there? But if you listen to them, what they will say, oh, that person is not there anymore because, for instance, it is my mother, for instance, and she is not there anymore to look after my children. It is always selfish. And that is why it always creates sorrow.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
And talk about that, about the selfishness part. The United Nations, when on International Day of Peace, 21st of September, there's always like a theme. And the theme this year is individual and collective responsibility. That peace is a shared duty. Can we go into that?
It's a shared duty.
Like it's a responsibility.
Yeah.
That's interesting. Can we understand that better?
Yeah. Because the moment that we understand our true self, that means I have to use that quality of peace in my thinking, in my speaking, in my actions. That is where the responsibility comes from. That by having that knowledge, yes, I cannot put it aside anymore. Knowing that I'm a peaceful being, I cannot behave any longer in an angry way. I have to make it practical so that I can contribute to the world. Because every thought that we have vibrate in the whole universe. So the more peaceful we are, collective, first individually, and then collectively, the more we go to the world that will be transformed on the basis of those qualities. And the world itself will always be there for us. People speak a lot of destruction nowadays, but it cannot be destroyed. It is impossible. It can be transformed. And on the basis of what we do collectively, putting those beautiful qualities into practice, that creates that new world. A world of peace, a world of harmony, love, respect. That will be there again. For 100%.
That's very hopeful.
Yes.
But not easy.
It is a challenge, definitely. I will not say it is not a challenge. Because, for instance, if someone insults me, then what to do? Normally we become angry. But if I understand where that behavior comes from the other person, and I stay in my self-respect of that peace, I will not react. But that, to reach there, that is the journey.
That is the work that you
Yes.
said, the application of the knowledge.
But it is so worthy to do it, because when you experience, one time I had that experience, someone was standing in front of me, and she was so intensely angry.
At you, at Rota?
Yeah,
Okay.
she was angry with me. But at that moment, I was able to remain so calm, and it was not affecting me. It was a real victory for me, because I came to understand that I'm afraid for angry people. But at that moment, I was so quiet, and I only had good wishes for her. Not taking one drop of that anger with him. But if it was before, I would not be able to do that. Yes.
So what was the power in that moment? Because this is the moment that coincides with the theme of today, the peace in the chaos. You could hold your peace
Yeah.
in the chaos of this emotion of anger. So
Yeah. It is
How did you do
something
it?
that we have to understand, that it is not that we can do it alone. For that, you really need your relationship with the Supreme Parent. Because that is where the power comes from, to put the knowledge into practice.
okay.
You can have the knowledge, all the knowledge, because you receive all the knowledge. But now to make it practical, you need a lot of strength, a lot of inner power. And through that connection, you receive that power.
Can you explain the term Supreme Parent
Yes,
that you mentioned?
definitely. Many times if you will ask people about God, they will say, and you will ask them, where is he? Or where is she? Because as a parent, right?
Yes, we all come from parent.
And then they will say, everywhere. And then I tell them that, okay, if you call the center and you ask the address, and I say it is everywhere, you will not come to the center. You will think those people are not, they are not okay. But for God, we think He's everywhere. He's in you, He's in me, He's everywhere, but that is not so. We are separate. Yes, soul, Supreme Soul, and matter are three separate entities, but interconnected. So now the Supreme Parent, all souls of this whole world belong to him, her. And that is why it is a family, and that is why you can have a relationship. God is not just light. He is light, like we are also light, but He's a personality. Otherwise you cannot communicate with Him. I cannot communicate just with a light. The candle, for instance, is light, but I cannot communicate. You must have a consciousness to communicate. And this communication is the most beautiful communication, based on thoughts, feelings, and also the understanding of the knowledge. And once that relationship is there, then you can receive what you are in need for. And because the impact that the Supreme Parent has on each of us is that he can activate the latent qualities that are already in the soul, because peace you will not get from outside, love you will not get from outside. It is part of you, the soul. These are your eternal qualities. But he activates it by making us aware that we are souls. It's very, very, it is the most interesting thing.
And this is a practice that you say that takes years
It takes
to...
time. But it is not a matter of years. It is a matter of how much it goes within, especially in the heart of the soul, because the heart is connected with truth. Something that is connected with truth, when my heart is connected with truth, I don't have to think about it. Is it real? Is it right? I know intuitive that it is like that. The moment thinking starts to come, then the information that we have, we start to mix in that truth. And that blocks the experience from the heart.
So this is how we started, no? From head to the heart.
Yeah,
From
first
knowledge?
You have to know. Right? You have to know. Without knowledge, then how you will go on this journey. But once you have that knowledge, you have to allow yourself that it can go to the heart. And for that you must have faith. That this is the truth. I am a soul, and a peaceful soul, and a child of the Supreme Parent. That is the greatest support that you can give yourself.
Is this affirmation?
Yes.
This knowledge?
Yes, based on truth, on eternal truth. So it has a lot of power. Before I came in this knowledge, I always thought that I'm God's child. But the power that it has now is different. The experience that I have is different. But it's for me, is my sustenance.
So you talked about activating latent soul qualities that we have.
Yes.
And because you explained the qualities of the ego, can you explain some of those qualities of the soul?
Yes. Every soul has a set of basic qualities. And that is purity, peace, love, happiness, power, bliss, and truth. In all of us. Even if we are in body consciousness, we still have those qualities. But it is when we are brought back in that awareness of who we are, and the Supreme Parent is doing that for us by giving us this knowledge, then it starts to activate, and you can work with it.
So all humans have these qualities in them?
Yes.
Without exception?
Without exception. Because we are all God's children.
I like...
Because there is a difference in our reality and our behavior. Yeah? Even though a behavior cannot be nice, but that doesn't mean that this is what I am eternally. Because an angry person, if the anger is over, he can be such a nice person. If it was our true nature, then whole day, every moment we would be angry. But it is not so. Yeah.
You also said that, of course, if anger is your true nature, you are angry all the time. But it comes and it goes. And you also mentioned that, connecting to what you said about us being peaceful beings by nature, and that you said everyone longs for peace.
Yeah.
Can you share that part? I love that little story.
Yeah. When Shanti was with me for the preparation, I asked Shanti, I said, Shanti, I don't know what is Kicker Village is in English.
We still don't know, do we?
But I said, if I ask you, if you want to have it, you will perhaps look at me. It doesn't say anything.
I stay neutral.
Exactly. So it is only when you know something that you will have that, pure desire for it again. And that is why it is like a proof that everyone is peaceful, and that is why we are longing for it again. But in that body consciousness, we cannot experience it within. So we go outside to the beach, to the forest or whatever to find that peace. Momentarily, but not permanently inside. But once we start to practice, and important is that in whatever way we say, I am, what comes behind I am, that will be your experience. So I am a peaceful being, a soul, then gradually it starts to give you that experience. And then it becomes natural again.
So let's talk about how do you transform yourself? How do you make that transformation? What is the meditation that you do?
First of all, everything starts with awareness. I have to bring myself every time back with a question, who am I? I am a peaceful soul, a pure soul, a loveful soul. Why? Because it is for a very long time that the imprints in the soul has been based on body consciousness. I am the doctor. I'm the director. I'm just a sweeper. So all those thoughts leaves imprints in the soul and shapes our character, our personality. So now we have to do the opposite. Remind ourselves every time in that quiet moment, who am I? And then when you are in action now, that will work for you. So first the inner work, and then automatically when you are in a situation, then that awareness will work for you. But it is a daily practice.
And how long daily?
Well, you can start with 5 minutes.
Okay, that's doable.
In the beginning, I could not even sit to meditate. Because as a nurse, you have wheels under your whole day running. So to sit just still was for me something terrible. So what I would do, I would just, walk around in the house, or I go to iron my clothes. But in the meanwhile, I do the inner work. That is why our meditation is not connected with a posture or a special place where you have to sit. You can do it anywhere, at any moment.
Because it is a
mental, it is a link.
It's a mental action.
Yeah.
So it's world peace tomorrow. Of course, we want to be conscious of world peace every day. I know Brahma Kumari Center does world peace meditations.
Yeah.
And worldwide, there are world peace activities going on. Like I know in Holland, there will be a Peace in the Park.
Peace in the Park, yes.
And I know in Aruba there are many meditations happening here and there online, a lot of incentives, people joining to meditate. Even there is a conscious dancing meditation. So there's a lot happening tomorrow for meditation for peace. Does this work?
Sorry?
Does this work to meditate together?
Definitely.
For world peace?
Definitely.
Can you explain?
Because, see, you can do things alone, but when you do it collectively, it has much more power. Because then all the vibration of peace reaches the world. And souls, wherever they are, they experience it. Because that is the energy of thought. You can see it travels in the form of vibrations.
And I've seen research on it, some articles. I haven't studied it in depth, but that they do measure the earth crimes and things happening on World Peace Day, and that it drops in certain areas.
Yeah.
And so it's interesting to look into that, get some statistics.
Yeah.
So what do you do when you meditate for world peace? What do you do? Because the first meditation we talked about, where you say the affirmation and you direct your thoughts, is personal, is the inner work.
Yeah.
So how, for those who want to do something for the world tomorrow or today, what would they do?
Important is that whatever we do in our meditation is to focus on others as souls, not the body. The body will not receive anything because the body has no consciousness. So my focus is on all souls of the world as God's children. That focus is very powerful, and then the vibrations of my thoughts will reach them wherever they are. And I don't know, I do not, there is no need for me to know when it comes by them or what they will do with it. That part is not involved. I just do it connecting, because we have to be connected. I had to get the full blow, the full power, and then send it to the world. And just by having those peaceful thoughts, it will reach others. Some days, for instance, Christmas time is a real, you can see how vibrations are working at that time. Because everyone is focused in the same way.
Yes, it's true. It's a peaceful time.
Yeah.
Unless if you're really working on the gifts and the dinner for 50 people, it's a different story.
But it is really vibrations, and that is why at this moment, because the world is filled with so much sorrow, anxiety, anger, so that is the vibration at this moment in time, and people are affected by it. So by doing the meditation in this way, you protect yourself. Before and after. Before, when I would enter the hospital in the morning, I would have the feeling as if thousands of kilograms are on my chest. Very uncomfortable. When I start to do this meditation, it was not there anymore. But one day I was feeling it again. So I said, God, is it still there? But I don't feel it anymore. You know, the heaviness of what is in the world. But some moments it happens with me. I remember, that was last year, in November, there is a day where everyone, I think, goes to the graveyard and put flowers and candles for those who have gone. And in the morning class, we were talking about it. And suddenly, I don't know, I felt so, like a kind of sadness, but I was not understanding where it was coming from. And then I realized that because my focus was on the outside, I was taking that energy in. And that happens with most of us. So this is also a kind of protection.
So when your focus is on the inside, you protect yourself.
Yes. And also others.
And others. Wow.
Yeah.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
So, Rota, what is a message that you have, let's say for the young people today, that maybe see the world, whoa, what world did I come into? What's a message that you can have for our young generation?
Yeah. To be very honest, when I look at the younger ones, I think about them and say how they will feel at this time with their life for the future. But there is a responsibility for all of us, young or old, and that is something we have to know. That also young ones must have that courage to choose for themselves. What is it that I really want to do with my life? Because what I put in my life, that will come back to me. Not what others tell me to do. That is not what will help me. So the influence of young people on one another is very strong. And that is why even the young people who are also souls with a responsibility, knowing what they are carry inside, when they choose to work for it and on it, they can really have a beautiful future. Because whatever we do comes back to us. Also for the younger ones. So you have your own future in your own hands. No one else.
That's powerful.
Yeah.
That's beautiful. So brings responsibility right back to yourself, right?
Yes.
That we don't have to wait for the outside or look for the solution on the outside.
No.
The solution is on the inside.
And of course, if we do it with many, holding hands together, so we had so much fun. No? Last one of the days, we were watering the plants, and Shanti has a hose downstairs. I say, Shanti, come 5 minutes, let me help you.
Yes.
And then we have to roll the hose. But it was so beautiful to do it together. So whole life is in fact based on doing things together. Life is not made for solo. Life is made for togetherness. That is why God has given us a world family.
World family. That's a beautiful
Yes, I really love the world
recap
family. Yeah.
of this beautiful conversation. So the Brahma Kumari Center has World Peace Meditations not only once a year, once a month, right? Can you maybe invite the public?
Yes, definitely. Every third Sunday between 6:30 and 7:30 in all the Brahma Kumari centers all over the world, we have the evening meditation, World Peace Meditation. Yeah. And people can come free. Everything is free.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
So can we have the blessing to do a mini World Peace Meditation right here, right now in Canal 90?
Yeah.
As
You mean
a gift?
A meditation.
Yes, a
Yes,
small,
of
tiny,
course.
micro experience.
Yes, it is possible.
Okay, everyone, prepare for World Peace Meditation by Sister Rota in connection with International Day of Peace.
It's always good to prepare yourself physically. Sit in a relaxed position, in a quiet place if it is possible. And always breathe a few times in and out. And just remind yourself today Who am I? I am a being of peace, a being of love, pure, powerful, joyful, blissful, and filled with truth. When I have those thoughts every day about myself, it empowers me. It is not something that is far away from myself, but it is my eternal reality. This is what I am. These are my qualities. So from now, every time when you use that tiny little word, I, realize that it is you who is I, that being of light, that being of peace, sitting in the center of the forehead and irradiating those qualities, reaching first the body and then in the whole universe. And a powerful support for the self is also remind yourself, who is it that I, the soul, belong to eternally? Physically, we have parents for our bodies, to create our bodies. But I, the soul, I belong eternally to my Supreme Parent. Who supports me, who sustains me with His love and His peace. Because this is the only energy that can really satisfy the soul. Matter cannot satisfy the soul. We need spiritual energy. Energy from the parent. And that will also heal our heart. And also the heart of others. Om Shanti.
Om Shanti. Observe how that feels to hear these words and what is the effect. Thank you so much. I do feel the difference. Very beautiful. Thank you so much, Rota, for giving us your drop of peace today, which is wisdom and knowledge.
Thank you for this opportunity.
Yes, very beautiful. So we're going to say goodbye to YouTube viewers, Facebook viewers looking at this live. I hope you're feeling peaceful and may it last the whole weekend. And you know you can activate it like we started with the breath, activate it with a positive thought like we learned from Sister Rota. I am a soul, a peaceful being. And we're going to complete with a song that Sister Rota chose, which is called Love, Peace, Wisdom by Bliss. It's a beautiful song. And before we play that song, we're going to say goodbye to you from YouTube and Facebook, hoping to meet you online that is on Canal 90fm.awe to enjoy this beautiful song, or tune into your radio on your phone or on your little analog radio, and let's enjoy this song of peace, to celebrate our world family. Thank you so much for joining us. Let us know how you feel. Put a comment on the YouTube channel or send me a comment on 6618133. 6618133. We want to know how you feel, and thank you again for listening. Te otro simang. Thank you.